When you spend many years in the world of trading, you end up realizing that many things work better the simpler they are. So in today's video, we are going to teach you step by step how to combine 3 indicators, which are able to provide us with the information we need at all times to create one of the simplest strategies we currently have. And of course, you can use all those who already have more time in the world of trading, but also all those who are starting from scratch. Welcome to the Trader's Game. And before we start, remember that in the description you have the links to join us in our Telegram community, where every day we post charts and analysis of what is happening in the financial markets. And also the trading bonus page, which has been updated and have added new promotions and free bonuses for all those who are starting in the world of trading. Do not forget to leave your email if you want to receive a weekly newsletter with everything that has happened during those days. First of all, we go to the indicators part and place the first one, called Dynamic Levels Breakouts, created by Angel Algo. Click on it and it will appear something like this. As you can see, this tool already by itself marks those candles that break previous levels, and only with this we could operate, as it provides us with a lot of information, especially for those who use strategies similar to the so-called institutional trading or smart money. Since in this case we know that the indicator marks this breakout here, we would simply have to place our operation waiting for the price to reach the previous order block and take our trade in positive. I have not made this example adjusting it, I just wanted you to understand what I mean. But well, first of all we go to the configuration part and put the period in 14. Again, we have here one of these breaks that would also serve us to wait for the price to return in this area, where we would take our operation to those previous highs. Seen this way, it will seem very simple, but in reality it is not. We would need to combine this indicator with a lot of knowledge of that particular trading style, and that is not what we want. So we will add another indicator. This sure many of you already know, the super trend, which also we have used it quite a lot for other strategies in this channel. Let's go to the configuration part, and in the ATR period we will raise it to 14 so that it filters much better those operations and those trends. I remove these 2 values here so that the numbers up here do not bother me, and for the rest you can leave it like this or change the colors to your liking. I always like to have the bearish trend in red and the bullish trends in green, so that my brain doesn't have to think too much when I am paying attention to other types of variables on the chart. If we expand everything a little more, you can see the combined operation of the super trend with the first indicator that we place. The first rule should be that we will only look for operations in long while the trend is bullish, and we will only look for operations in short when the trend is bearish and colored in red in the super trend. At this point, we are going to remove in the configuration of the first indicator the lines of the chart, those red and green lines that would mark the breakout zones, because we will not really need them with this strategy. Here we would have a very clear example, and it is that we are detecting that the super trend has turned green. It seems that it begins that pronounced uptrend, and that second confirmation we have when the candle that marks the first indicator breaks that boss, which would mean that it has broken this structure, and therefore there is much more likely that the trend continues in the direction in which it has started. And of course the marker of the first indicator already makes it clear that the price is more likely to rise. At this point, just at the candle close, we place the stop loss below the previous lows and look for a 1.5 to 1 ratio trade. As you can see, we are giving this example in the time frame of 15 minutes in the Bitcoin pair with USDT, i.e. we are in a volatile asset where we may want to place the first take profit in that ratio 1 to 1, and then let our operation run a part to 1.5 and another part to 2 to 1 to always ensuring profits. If you trade other less volatile assets, such as all kinds of forex pairs or stocks in traditional markets, in that case you could look for much higher trading ratios, as the trends are usually more pronounced and with a more predictable structure. It is important to keep in mind that in the case that you get signals like this, where we can see that the price then falls, we should not take them in the long term, because the super trend is still green and the trend could have continued to rise. You should always wait until the super trend is in green and then wait for the signal of the first indicator, but never trade against the trend. If you find the video interesting, please leave us a nice like. It's free and it helps us a lot. And we are going directly to add the third indicator to be able to nail almost perfectly those entries. It is the MFI or Money Flow Index, an indicator also very simple, but we are going to give a couple of changes in its style. In the data entries we will leave it in 14, and here very important, in the time interval that you place it in by 4 of the temporality that you are operating. That is, if we operate in 15 minutes the time interval, we will put it in 1 hour, since 15 minutes by 4 would be 60 minutes, which is equivalent to 1 hour. We are going to style, where I will place it to my liking, the white line. The overbought zone I will place it in red, as I always do with the oscillators, and here it is very important that the central part you mark it in a more forceful way, since it will represent a kind of support and resistance zone that we will use to filter our operations. And the third rule is very simple. We will only enter after we have the other two rules fulfilled, but we will also observe the lower indicator, the MFI, and in the case that we are looking for a short operation, the white line must always be below the yellow line, that is to say below the central zone of the indicator, since it is showing us that the money is still leaving the asset. As you can see, it is also just when it returns to the top when the supertrend detects that the trend could change. In this particular case, we see that it has already been perfectly below. So yes, we would take that operation with all the security in the world, looking for example that ratio 1.5 as the first take profit, and that ratio of 2 to 1 as the second take profit. As you can see, the price continues to fall as the downtrend is very pronounced at this time, until, as I said, the MFI reverses upwards. Here we have a very clear example of a false signal that the MFI prevents us from taking. The first and the second rule are correct, but the MFI is at the top and not at the bottom, as it should be in the case of looking for shorts. However, in this area we can clearly see how, in addition to the two upper signals that tell us that we could enter long, also the MFI indicator is at the top. And the part that makes it much clearer that the money is entering the asset, we place our operation stop loss below. And as you can see, we could have made an operation of a ratio 14 to 1, a complete madness, and take advantage of all this trend. So my recommendation is to always place your first take profit at that 1-to-1 ratio, take profits, and then let at least another second trade run to maximize profits, but also keeping in mind that at least you have already collected a part of the profits in case the trade turns around for any reason. As I said at the beginning of the video, for me it is one of the simplest strategies and for everyone, so I invite you to try it and adapt it to your trading, and tell us below in comments how it went. Finally, remember that in the description you always have the link to our free Telegram community, where we are already almost 1,500 people, and you also have the link to the official website of Trading Bonus, where all those who are looking for the best platforms to trade can choose the one you like, and you will also get an extra bonus gift. Thank you very much for watching us one more day, and see you in the next video of the Trader's Game.